What's up, guys? Mr. BossLoaf here. I'm gonna do a little top 10 here. Top 10 things to avoid at a dollar store. You know, top 10 categories. Because I know y'all got probably a dollar store around where you are. Or if you're British, like a Poundland or whatnot, or a 99-cent store. So, first thing is pet food and like pet treats. So many people, they've found that giving cheap food and chewables to the dogs and cats, they're having violently ill pets. So for dollar store pet food, you got to pay special attention to the expiration dates and the ingredients lists, because they could contain some bad shit, like as you would any other food product. Often sticking to name brand pet food is your best bet, especially if there are any dietary restrictions for your dog or your cat. In addition, you might also discover you'll get more bang for your buck, I think, at a big box store. Like, so if you're trying to buy pet food at like a dollar store, then I don't know, there's something wrong with you. The same goes for the second thing, which is canned foods at a dollar store. So if you're buying canned dollar store, holy shit. Did y'all see that? Anyway, if y'all buying canned dollar store food, like, there's something wrong with your insides, because that's probably rotting away in there. So the dollar stores, they have their private label canned goods, so they're highly likely to have traces of BPA in the linings of the cans, like inside, according to a report released earlier this year by toxicfoodcans.org. That's an actual website. And there's other partner organizations that also did studies and whatnot, but BPA is said to be harmful to children and disruptive to the reproductive system, according to nonprofit organization Environment and Human Health. So it's important to note some major grocery chains and big box retailers, they also carry the BPA coated cans. So that's something to avoid right there. The next thing is toys. I know you see all these little toys, like they got little plastic guns and shit and all this stuff, but the lifespan of these things are probably, you know, like you get what you pay for, right? So things will break easy. So many of these toys are made in China, and they aren't tested at all by like any kind of product safety commission or nothing. So especially for children that are under 3, pieces of the toys can like easily break and get swallowed. So a trip to the emergency room isn't worth a couple of saved bucks, in my opinion. Let's see, what else can I think of? Back to school supplies, like duotangs and binders and whatnot. That's probably all right. But although a dollar store, it might sound like a logical choice to like buy stuff than as opposed to like a Walmart. You could beat the dollar deals if you wait for a back to school sale. So, you know, if you're buying back to school supplies anyway, you might as well just wait till there's always a back to school sale. Makeup and toiletries and medicine. So if you're buying medicine at a dollar store, I don't know what's wrong with you, because there's not going to be anything good there. There's not going to be any name brand anything. Even off brand, there's not going to be. It's going to be like the shit brand. Sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh, my fucking phone's ringing here. I'm going to just ignore that for a minute. Sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. Although there might be nothing wrong with some products in these categories, you might want to err on the side of caution. So, like, you should avoid these products because you don't want to be taking any like bunk. You don't want to be taking any bunk pills or whatnot. You'll probably not recognize the brands, and if you do, they may be sitting on the shelf for like a long, long time. Batteries. Batteries are one of the things we need but hate to buy because they can be so expensive, especially the rechargeable batteries. But you're better off forking over the cash for batteries from a regular retailer than at a dollar store, because the dollar store ones are usually duds. Like, they're usually not even half of them. Well, not half of them. Let's say maybe one out of a pack is probably already done. And cheap batteries, they can leak and damage your shit. So you don't want your, I don't know, whatever you stick batteries in nowadays. Everything's pretty much got like an internal ion fucking thing. Knives. When you're prepping in the kitchen, you want a knife that can get the job done. So a knife from a dollar store might not live up to its duty. Some items in the kitchen section, like food storage containers, they're pretty good. They're a good buy. But when it comes to knives, you don't want a dull knife, because they could probably, dull knives can be very dangerous. What else? Tools. It's pretty much the same thing as knives, but tools, like a $1 hammer might sound like a good deal, but it probably won't be something you'll have in your toolbox for any length of time. So the majority of like $1 tools are made with poor quality and engineering. So not only will they not last, perhaps maybe for a short project they'll last, but they could result in an injury or just poor execution. Another thing, plastic cooking utensils. So the dollar store is a go-to destination when planning a summer block party or barbecue. So, because you can get all your paper plates, all your, plastic shit, and forks and all that stuff there. But pause before you head to the aisle with the plastic cutlery, because plastic cooking utensils from a dollar store might contain bromine, which is a component in brominated flame retardant, also known as BFR. According to the Ecological Center reports, BFR is known to cause cancer, birth defects, and problems with brain development. So, I mean, you don't want any of those things. So just maybe save a little, or actually don't save a little. Buy a little more expensive forks or whatnot. If you don't have, always there's a Value Village or a second hand. Like buy a set of these cutleries, like metal. The last thing is electronics. So, like dollar store electronics. It's best to skip the electronics aisle because most electronics that plug in are junk and don't last very long at all. Especially the HDMI cords and the power strips. When dealing with electronics, it's best to purchase from legit electronic retailers. Extension cords and USB cables from dollar stores both tested high in chlorine, according to a dollar store safety report released by nonprofit U.S. organizations, the Ecology Center and Campaign for Healthier Solutions. This indicates the cords are made with polyvinyl chloride plastic. And the research suggested that this is a cancer-causing element, cancer-causing chemical. So, maybe you want that HDMI cord or whatever, but just get a better one, because chances are the ones you're getting at the dollar store are coated in some bad cancer shit. You don't want to be handling that. You want to have a long and healthy life. And that's about it, guys. So this has been top 10 things to avoid buying. Top 10, not things, but top 10 categories of stuff to avoid buying at your local dollar store, Poundland, 99-cent store, whatnot. those type of stores. So, this has been Mr. BossLoaf. Peace!